Hey guys, Cien here from the BSP Wrestling Show, here to bring you guys my NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3 review. Whoa, what a show that we just got. That show was absolutely incredible. Everything that was done was fantastic. I loved every bit of it. Every single second of this show, I loved. Oh my goodness. They kicked the show off with Johnny Gargano versus Andrade, Cien, Almas. Now, Gargano's the smaller of the two, but both of them are good at wrestling. Andrade's very, very underrated. A lot of people don't give him the credit that he deserves. But I've seen some of his matches on the independents, and the guy can go. And that's exactly what happened tonight. These two meshed together so well. Almas had the advantage from the beginning, but Johnny Gargano fired up once he got slapped in the face, and it was on from there. He had a nice slingshot DDT from the apron like RVD used to use, and only got a 2 count there. But Almas came back with a inverted corner DDT, also got a very close 2 count. Let me just say, the false finishes in this whole show just got me, because when you thought the match was over, it just wasn't. That's just the theme for tonight, the false finishes. Oh my goodness, but Almas countered a sunset flip from the top rope. Gargano hit a enziguri, and Almas threw him into the turn. Like, these two were just killing each other, and the crowd loved every single second of it. Almas missed his double corner knees, and Johnny locked him into the Gargano escape submission hold. Almas fought out of it, hit him with a buckle bomb, finally got the corner knees, and still only got a 2 count. Hell of a match. The crowd was incredibly invested. Like I said, the false finishes were great. Gargano hit 2 super kicks and then lawn darted Almas into the turnbuckle. And as he was setting up for a final super kick, Almas' manager, I think her name's Selena Vega, she threw a freaking DIY t-shirt at Gargano. He was distracted for 1 second, and then Almas took advantage and wound up hitting the hammerlock STO DDT and picked up the win. I enjoyed every second of this freaking match. Plus, they continue the DIY story by just including a t-shirt. Something as so simple as a t-shirt makes you remember that Tommaso Ciampa turned his back on Gargano at the last takeover in Chicago. And, you know, their storyline is going to continue, but that distracted Johnny just enough, who was focused the whole match. But that little bit right there, he messed up and saw the t-shirt, and it cost him the match. Almas picks up the win, and they're still trying to continue to tell the story, even though Ciampa's hurt right now. So that was great. Great way to kick off the show. The crowd was hyped for it. They were giving him like a standing ovation by the time it was over, and they just loved it. After that, we got the NXT Tag Team Championship match. The Authors of Pain versus Sanity, which we thought was going to be Killian Dane and Alexander Wolfe. But it turned out Eric Young had a little master plan all along. So these two teams started fighting before the bell even rang. Eric Young was just on the outside watching it all. He set up a table on one of the barricades that would be used later. And like I said, Killian Dane was on the apron like he was going to get tagged in. And then Eric Young hopped up and was like, no, it's going to be me and Wolfe. And Dane was like, okay, I see what you're doing. You got a little plan. They were trying to play mind games with the Authors of Pain. So Eric Young got in, and match was all over the place. They fought inside the ring, outside the ring, in the crowd. It was just all over. Authors of Pain are big, but they had to deal with 4 people. Yes, including Nikki Cross. She was definitely a factor that you had to look out for, because she's crazy. So, like I said, Sanity used the numbers game to their advantage to get the upper hand. Everybody was getting involved in this match, but the Authors of Pain were still trying to fight them off, still trying to use their size and their power against Sanity. Well, Sanity just kept coming at them. They're all crazy, so they just kept throwing themselves at them. Nikki Cross, like I said, did get involved in this match, and she had a little face-off with Ellering, but the ref was trying to get Ellering out the ring, and Nikki Cross dove from the top rope to the outside onto one of the Authors of Pain, but he caught her like he was about to smash her or something, but Killian Dane out of nowhere ran full force at them and just cross-bodied them both through a table, and they were all down after that. And the table that Eric Young set up before the match got started finally came into play. I was wondering how they were going to do it. That was a creative way to do it. And now it's 2-on-1. Eric Young and Wolfe going after one of the Authors of Pain. I don't know which one is which. But yeah, then they hit this double team move, this double belly to back suplex / neck breaker or whatever the heck they call it, and picked up the win. And Authors of Pain finally lose a match, and they are no longer tag team champions. And Sanity is now the new NXT Tag Team Champions. I don't know if they're face now either, because the crowd was on their side for most of this match. I thought it was just two heel teams, but including this and what happened afterwards, it seems like Sanity is going to be face, because Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, who came over from Ring of Honor a little bit ago, came out and they attacked not only Sanity but the Authors of Pain after the match to make an impact on both teams. Pure carnage, bodies everywhere. The crowd went crazy because, they're teaming up again just like they did in Ring of Honor. And we got some Ring of Honor guys trying to make some impact. Keep that thought in your brain. Next match we got Hideo Itami versus Aleister Black. And holy crap, these are two of the best strikers in NXT. They wanted to kick and punch each other's heads off, and they pretty much did it. Started off with a fast pace until Itami took advantage, slowed down the tempo a little bit. But Aleister got some color from his nose that started bleeding. And it just seems like these guys were out for the kill and just trying to knock each other out. Itami hit this freaking avalanche Michinoku driver, or Falcon's arrow from the top rope, which was crazy. I've never seen it. I'm sure somebody's done it before, but I've never personally seen that done. That was incredible. These two were just kicking each other in the head, punching each other. Like, they just were out for blood, literally. And one of them actually drew blood. More back and forth strikes, just like all match long. Tons of reversals. Itami actually put in some good work on Aleister Black. Aleister Black sold for him. He wasn't just completely dominant as he had been. But yeah, Itami hit another Falcon arrow. Aleister kicked out. Itami set up for the GTS, but Aleister, slipped out of that. And as Itami was still demanding respect from the crowd, which he was doing all match, it led to his demise as he went back up to Aleister and fell victim to the Black Mass kick to the face. Lights out for Itami. Another great match. Aleister Black picks up the win. Another great match, man. Like, oh my goodness, the crowd. Now, I'm going to talk about the main event for just a second, just with the crowd. The crowd was done by the main event because these matches were so good that they were literally tired. I can't even blame them for not being as loud as they could have been for that main event and what happened afterwards. But they were just drained. I was drained watching the main event. And the main event wasn't boring to me. It was just, after seeing all of this go down, and then this next match I'm about to talk about, it was just like there was no more energy left. I don't know how they're going to be hyped up for SummerSlam tomorrow. But probably today, because that's probably when I'm going to upload the video. Then we get the NXT Women's Championship. Asuka versus Ember Moon. Holy crap, another great match. I just keep saying it. It was another great match. I'm sorry. Ember Moon immediately brought the fight to Asuka, caught her off guard. She was on her heels. She hit her with like this front flip from the middle rope to the outside of the ring. And Asuka just had to desperately do something, and she did. She drove Ember Moon's shoulder into the steel steps on the outside. And you remember that was the injury that Ember Moon suffered a few months back when she was supposed to face Asuka at, Takeover Chicago, I think. And so Asuka just went back to that shoulder because that was, where she had her injury. Wanted to do more damage to it, and she hit it like suplex on the entrance ramp. And she just took advantage from there because that shoulder was still bothering her. Ember kept fighting back, but Asuka would just take it right away every time. She had a German suplex, and it seemed like Ember Moon's head it either hit the bottom turnbuckle or it was really, really close to hitting the bottom turnbuckle. A lot of back and forth offense. Ember Moon fought, and she freaking hit that dang Eclipse, the diving corkscrew stunner from the top rope. The crowd freaked because we thought Asuka was gonna, like I said, them false finishes. We thought Asuka lost. I thought Asuka lost. I've never seen anybody kick out of that. And Asuka kicked out. I was like, what? She put some stank on it like Stone Cold used to do, and she still kicked out. I'm like, oh my goodness. Ember went back up again for it, but this time Asuka knew what she was doing. She grabbed the ref to distract her and prevent the move from happening. So instead, she just jumped over the ref and hit a crossbody on Asuka. Asuka tried to roll her up and, pull the tights, but the ref saw it and stopped the count. Ember nailed Asuka with a super kick as she was arguing with the ref, and Asuka kicked out again. Again, the crowd thought the match was over, and when Asuka kicked out, they were like, what? What do you have to do? Ember literally threw everything she had at Asuka, and Asuka just kept kicking out. She was just so close to losing, but Ember made one mistake when Asuka played possum a little bit. Ember took too long to capitalize after she hit the super kick and only got the 2 count that Asuka played possum with her and got her into the Asuka lock. It was pretty much over after that. Ember had to tap out. But 504 days as NXT Women's Champion, after this match right here, I don't know how she survived. Ember threw everything she literally had at Asuka, and it still was not enough. Ember got a standing ovation after this match and thank you chants, which makes me think maybe she's going to the main roster instead of Asuka, like I originally thought. But that could be weird. I mean, I guess there's nothing left for her to do in NXT because she's not going to beat Asuka. Asuka's obviously going to run that division for a very long time. Nobody's prepared to beat her except Ember Moon, and Ember Moon couldn't do it. So I think she's just gonna move up to the main roster. They could use her up there. I would put her on probably Raw. As weird as that sounds, I will put Ember Moon on Raw. I feel like they're not like Raw would book her better, and I'm not trying to get into a rant about Raw, but I don't know. I feel like she could definitely help that division. They need some type of help. They lost Charlotte. Bayley's hurt. You got Sasha Banks, cool. You got Nia Jax, but Nia Jax just isn't doing anything. They don't want her to do anything. But yeah, the Ember Moon could definitely boost that division up and make it even more relevant than it already is. I mean, if you look at the talent they have Emma, they have Mickie James, Nia Jax, and just adding Ember Moon to that, other than Bayley and Sasha and Alexa, that'd be great. That'd be a great division for them. SmackDown's doing all right. They can handle their own right now. They don't really need to add anybody just yet. So I would definitely send her to Raw. Now let's talk about the main event. We got the Bobby Roode versus Drew McIntyre for the NXT Championship. Like I said, the crowd was done at the end of the night, and they were just enjoying this match. They weren't too loud because their voices were probably gone. But this was probably the weakest match of the night, and I mean that with all due respect because I feel like it was still a good match. It was a good match. It was different. I saw all different types of matches. I saw like the knockdown, drag out fights. I saw the high flying fights. The really powerful fights. I've seen it all. And this one was kind of, really slow paced, very methodical. A lot of reversals. Both guys brought, the fight to each other. Drew McIntyre had the advantage in size over Bobby Roode, but Bobby Roode did not back down, not even a little bit. He didn't back down at all. It took him a minute to get Drew down to the mat, but he still found a way to do it. The whole match, like I said, back and forth. One trying to get the upper hand on the other, do more damage. They both had bruises and stuff. Sorry, my voice cracked. They both had bruises. Bobby Roode had a visible one on his thigh. It looked like somebody stuck him with a needle and just left it. and then took it out and then just didn't cover it up or something. That's what that looked like. But yeah, these two were throwing all their moves at each other. Drew landed a future shock DDT after the back and forth and the counters. He only got a 2 count. Roode pulled off a Liger bomb from the top rope. Didn't get the pinfall. Then he got hit with the Claymore kick and rolled out of the ring, so Drew couldn't get the pin over him. And then Drew McIntyre's 6'5" self jumped over the top rope with a senton onto Bobby Roode. That kind of got the crowd up a little bit because they didn't expect that. That man with that type of frame jumped clear over the top. It wasn't even like he barely made it. He barely landed on Bobby Roode, but he did clear that rope. He cleared it with no problem. He set Roode up, but Roode connected with a spine buster and then hit a glorious DDT. Another sequence led to him trying to hit another one, and he landed that. Then he went for the trifecta, and McIntyre slipped out, hit the Claymore kick, landed it, and pinned Bobby Roode to become the new NXT champion. That one surprised me. I didn't think Bobby Roode was going to drop the title this soon, but he did. Drew McIntyre fought his way back into WWE and is a champion, way better than what he was when he was the Chosen One. Who remembers the Chosen One when he was Intercontinental Champion? He's way better than what he was back then. I'm very happy for him. He's in NXT. He's going to develop even better. And when he goes back to the main roster, which is where he's headed, not yet, but once he does, once he's ready for that, it'll be way better than his first run. It will be no more 3MB jokes. He's way better than what he was back then, and he's ready now. But it doesn't end there. So Drew McIntyre is celebrating. They put up the little N logo, and NXT is going off. They're signing off, and then the crowd is looking away from Drew McIntyre, going bonkers. I'm like, uh-oh. And then Drew McIntyre looked in the corner, and then there's Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, who made an impact earlier when they attacked Sanity and the Authors of Pain. They're just in the corner like, sup? And Drew goes up to him like, hold up, who y'all think y'all is? Y'all not about to jump me? I'm Drew McIntyre, come on now. And then Drew McIntyre turns around. Well, no, actually, I don't even think he turned around. But Adam Cole, baby, attacks Drew McIntyre, and all three of them just proceed to stomp the ever-loving crap out of Drew McIntyre's soul. And Ring of Honor just took over tonight. Like, I don't know what it was, but just Ring of Honor just came into NXT and just put it on the table and was just like, yep, this is how it's going to be, and this is how it is. And they picked up Drew McIntyre and let Adam Cole super kick him in the face. And that's how NXT ended. We do have a new NXT champion, but Bobby Fish, Adam Cole, and Kyle O'Reilly made the biggest impact of the whole night. So that was crazy. That was NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3. All three Brooklyns have been great, fantastic. This one did not disappoint as well. Set the tone for the weekend. SummerSlam better be some type of fantastic tomorrow, because this show right here was just incredible. I can't stop talking about it. I'm back. Like, I had to buy a microphone today. I got something else planned for you guys. I'm getting back. I'm coming back. I'm trying to get, in the schedule of things and everything, but I definitely had to review this show. I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm glad you guys are still sticking around with me, even though it's been a while since I've uploaded. I haven't had a consistent schedule. I'm going to get back to the Raw and SmackDown reviews as well. They may not be exactly right after the show every time, but I definitely will go back to reviewing the shows. But yeah, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching. Slap a like on the video if you guys enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, because SummerSlam is going to be like 30 hours long. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you later. Peace.